So, now that you know what to look for, we need to know how to make a report. So the first thing you need to do is have any documentation that you have collected. Let's say you've been watching a student for a couple weeks and today they came in and it was just another confirmation and you're like, okay, I don't think these are isolated incidences. Have those notes that you took available. Like I said earlier, make sure you're writing this stuff in an agenda or some sort of calendar. Just, I saw a bruise today, or dirty hair 3 days in a row, or something like that. Just make little notes to yourself, whatever code you makes sense to you. Document what's the time, what's the date, what's the nature of whatever problem you're seeing. Is there a cut, etc. If there's a statement from the child, let's say child approached you after school or during lunch or before school, hey, Mr. Smith, I need to talk to you. I have something to tell you. So what was the statement of the child? All of those types of things. So what's the nature of the abuse? What's the statement? Who's the identity of the perpetrator? Is that the mother, the father, the babysitter? What's their relation to the victim? Is it a foster parent? Is it dad's girlfriend, mom's boyfriend? What are the details of the physical abuse? Does that person have access to the child? Is the child, in other words, is that child in danger? Could it happen tonight when they go home? And then also, how did you come to know the information? Is this a suspicion you have? Is this something that was said to you? What were your means? How did you come across this information? So have all that ready. Also at the school site, I would notify your superior. So, or a colleague, let someone know what's going on. That might be your VP of discipline. That might be the principal. That might be your department head. That might be a teacher who also has a student. Hey, are you noticing what I'm noticing? Do we need to report this? Now, it's important to note that the first person who saw the abuse is responsible for reporting it. If the vice principal or someone wants to take that off your hands, then that's okay, as long as they're going to make the report. You might not always have a superior who agrees with you or a colleague who agrees with you. They might not think that there is abuse happening. Even if that is the case, let's say, you share a different opinion than the person you have notified on the school site, you are still responsible to make that report. It is not sufficient to say, oh, well, I told, principal so-and-so or VP so-and-so. If you saw it, you need to report it. Even if someone tells you that that's not the case, you have that responsibility. People might not agree with you, but you need to make that call, use your best judgment, and make that report. And then there's, once you call CPS, so once again, I keep saying this over and over, this is not difficult to find the place that you need to go. All you have to do is Google CPS or Child Protective Services and your county. So San Bernardino County, Orange County, LA County, the County of Los Angeles, right? So you just Google that, and most of the time when I've been looking, it's one of the first two websites that pop up. It is not difficult to find. And you can go to whatever tab. San Bernardino County has it. How do I make a report? Is actually right here for San Bernardino. I think most of us are in either San Bernardino or LA County. So this is the website. It's really straightforward. How do I make a report? What are the signs? Every county has some sort of resource like that. It'll have the hotline for the county. And so you make your phone call within 24 hours of being notified of the abuse. It needs to be done before you leave the school site, though. That was part of the training for the educators. It needs to be done before you leave that school site that day, and depending on the severity, you might do it in the middle of class. You might be calling the office and saying, hey, this is what's going on. We have someone who's hurt. We have someone who's in big trouble. This is what's happening. you use your best judgment, but you need to notify immediately. And then after you've called and made the report to CPS, for San Bernardino County, there's a PDF that you download from the website, and you fill that out and you fax it or you mail it using snail mail, but you get it back to the CPS office. If you're in LA County, it's a little more modern, I guess I would say. You make your phone call, and then the form that you fill out is online. So that's kind of nice because it's just instant. You submit it. That's it. There's no additional steps. You don't have to mail anything. You don't have to fax anything. So I think that's kind of convenient. So honestly, just whatever county you're in, you Google it, figure it out, and you take the right steps. I think there was this website on the California Department of Education. There's this form you can download. And basically what's on this form, I think everybody should do it. It has the types. It has what must be reported, how to report, just all the steps. And then there's 3 blanks in the middle here that you can see. So whenever we get hired, you guys, honestly, I'm going to attach this in the presentation. Print out this page, write down your county's number to Child Welfare Services, write down the police department's phone number, write down the sheriff's department number. So, hey, when something happens and a kid reports to you, you have all that information right there. You don't have to spend time on Google. You don't have to waste time trying to figure out the police department. You have that information. I would keep that information in your desk at school, in your attendance file at school. You never know when something like this is going to come to your attention. It's not scheduled. Oh, Sally's going to tell you on Monday the 2nd of October. No, this just happens whenever, and so we need to be prepared. So I would highly recommend, I'm going to do it myself, printing out this paper, having all the resources at your fingertips, so when you need it, because more likely than not you'll need it, you're prepared, and you just have to pick up that phone and make that phone call. So make it easy on yourself. And, I've already said this, but you're doing right by that child. So that's how you make the report.